Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Talking Halos. I'm your host today, Jared Timms, and I am joined alongside my co-host, my partner in crime, Nate Green. And guys, don't be fooled. This is just a voice. I am just as mad as you guys are, but we will not show it today. Nate, go ahead, take it away. How you doing?
Yeah, doing the same as you. We know this is it. So we know it's been a long 12, 15 days if you really want to get into it. But we're here to talk about the Angels and how we think they can get better and what they can do. So let's go to topic number one.
I mean, we're not here to complain. Let's just go over this right now. Like, we're not here to complain. We're not here to get mad. I think this shows that, we've and this is going to come off really arrogant, but that we've actually played the game and understand the game and know that this is kind of part of it. And we knew that, like, we said this coming into this season, right? Like, that there were question marks on all 25 guys, right?
26.
We said this.
26.
26 guys. All 26 guys. Yeah, I forgot that everybody.
28 if you want to get technical.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah.
We said it. 28, 26, 25, whatever you want to call it. 20, question marks throughout, like, what is this guy? What is this guy? What is this guy? What is this guy? Even Mike Trout's question mark, and I'm never ever like Mike Trout slumping.
It was just health concerns.
Just health concern. I'm not worried about his playing ability. It's Mike freaking Trout. He's going to be back. Like, don't worry about it. But yeah, we said there were question marks. We knew there were going to be rough patches. Did we know that it was going to be like this? Absolutely not. We never thought that it was going to come down to an 11-game losing streak ever. And I don't think, like, you can predict something like this. I don't know what to say. I really don't. Like, I want to say, like, oh, I have the answers. I want to say I have the answers. I don't. I don't think you have the answers. I don't think anybody has the answers, or else obviously it would be out there already. I know, like, we can talk about what we would do, and that's, like, kind of the plan here. Like, if we were Perry Minasian, kind of what would we do right now? And we'll get there, but I want, like, kind of reactions here, because I feel like I just summed it up decently well. Like, we said there were 26 question marks coming into the season, right? And you needed 75% of those things to go right to be a good team. Everything was going right for the first 40 games. I think that's fair to say. And now all of a sudden, 5% of stuff is going right.
They avoided 35 aces during those 40 games. That was the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life.
They're starting to play good team. They're starting to play very good teams. They're starting to see aces, though they didn't see Garrett Cole.
Miss Garrett Cole, but they did see Zach Wheeler.
Yes, and like I said, back to the question marks. There are 26 of them. You wanted everything to go right. It's not going right. Right now, 5% of everything is going right. That 5% is Jared Walsh and Andrew Velasquez on defense, probably. There's your 5% that's going right. Ryan Tepera looks okay over the last 2 games. Aaron Luke, there is no such thing. Raisel Iglesias has pitched twice in the last 9 days. I don't know what to say about that. Jimmy Herget gave up that home run today, which, again, put in a tough situation. You can't blame him for it. It is what it is. He came in a dirty inning. The Angels are probably going to lose that game anyways. Whatever you want to look at it. Just give me your reactions right now, and then we can get into how to attempt to solve this. First, I always forget to do this. Blue Wire. If you're looking to start a podcast, Blue Wire. Blue Wire, if you're listening to this, go ahead and make us some shirts. I have 7,000, just hit my 7,000th follower on
Congratulations.
Thank you. On Twitter, go ahead and I'll promote for you guys if you'd like. Go ahead, get some shirt, get us some merch, whatever it is. I'll help you guys out on that side of things. Again, don't want to sound cocky, don't want to sound arrogant. The Angels are on an 11-game losing streak. I have nothing good to say at the moment. But yeah, Nate, go ahead.
I don't think you want to hear from me, because my prediction was 82 and 82.
Okay.
That's what I thought they were going to be. So when they started out really hot, it was what goes up must come down. And they're on that what must come down right now. And, some people are a little bit upset that it is a little bit further down than anyone could have expected. I don't think you ever go into a season expecting to lose 11 games in a row. I don't think even the Baltimore Orioles or Pittsburgh Pirates, who were honestly not even trying to win, the Cincinnati Reds, like, those teams were not like, oh, hey, we're probably going to lose 11 or 12 games in a row, guys, but it's going to be okay. We'll figure it out, and we'll win enough games to, still be competitive. but it is tough. It just feels like everything that can go wrong is going wrong, and it's just kind of at a point where you just have to laugh at how amazing things are going. Like, why are we throwing a strike to Bryce Harper? I still don't know. And Bryce Harper hits the home run that
Right.
is heard around Philadelphia. And,
Why are you pitching to Bryce Harper?
I mean, we walked Corey Seager with the bases loaded. So I don't know. It's just like kind of laughable. You're just sitting there going, man, the Angels get out to a 5-0 lead. Like, I'm not gonna get too excited. Here comes Bryce tying her at the plate. Like, wouldn't it just be funny if he hits a game tying grand slam? Oh wait, there it is. So that's just kind of how it's been the last couple of weeks, and yeah, they have a tough stretch right now. They got Boston, New York, and the Dodgers coming up. So it's not going to get any easier. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you, and nobody's just going to gift you a win. You guys got to really bear down and figure out what it takes to win a baseball game. If that means get on the dish and get hit by get hit by the ball, and that means get on the dish and get hit by a pitch. If that means, maybe you're not a 7th or 8th inning guy and you got to get an out in the 7th or 8th inning, maybe that means you got to get a job done. Maybe it means getting a sack bunt down. I don't know what it means, but you got to figure out what it takes to win these games. And it's a little thing here and it's a little thing there. That's what's really cost them. You look at you can really pick out a couple little things in each and every one of these games, and it's not even managerial decisions. It's we made an error here, or a base running mistake here, or a mental mistake here, a fly ball catch here, and you look up and it's 11 L's in a row. So they've got to play a lot cleaner baseball. They've got to pitch a lot better, and they'll figure it out. They're going to go on a run again, and it's going to be one of those years where it's win 8 or 9 in a row, lose 6 or 7 in a row, win 4 or 5 in a row, lose 7 or 8 in a row. It's just going to keep going back and forth because that's kind of the team they have. So let's go on to our next topic here.
I mean, interesting point that you bring up. Like, you can't, like, no one's gonna like what we're about to say, but you can't blame anybody. We talked about this. We talked about this on the phone earlier today, and I mean, we got to talk about it. Like, you really, you can't blame anybody. You really can't.
There's no one guy to blame. Honestly, this is a team effort. It really is. Like, the pitching hasn't been good. You can't just blame the starting pitching because the bullpen. There are times where the starting pitching has put us in a position to win a baseball game, and the bullpen has not done their job. You can't just blame the bullpen because our starting pitching has gone an inning and a third 3 times in this losing streak. You can't blame the offense. There are times where they're getting shut out. You can't blame the defense. There are times where they're making mistakes. It is a team effort. It really is. And I know people say it's an individual game with a team aspect to it, and it really is, but it's really hard to blame individuals. Like, Mike Trout's struggling, yes. Noah Syndergaard's struggling, yes. Shohei Ohtani's still struggling, yes. Like, there's really only 1 or 2 bright spots on this team, and Jared Walsh is one of them. Luckily, he's getting to hit against left-handed pitching and against right-handed pitching, and he's doing a good enough job against lefties, not great, and he's hitting better against righties. So it's good to see him get back on track. But, yeah, it is a huge team effort for these losses, and you can't even blame Joe. I mean, Joe has tried different things. It's not like Joe is trying the same thing over and over again. Like, all right, we're going to go the same guy in the 8th inning. Like, no, he has tried Oliver Ortega. It didn't work. He has tried Aaron Loop. It didn't work. He tried Ryan Tepera. It didn't work. He tried bringing in Rafael Iglesias to get 5 outs. It didn't work. Like, he has literally tried everything. It is laughable for him because he's literally done everything you possibly can to put guys in situations to succeed, and they just continue to show that they are not ready for those situations. And then you got guys who are making big monies who aren't playing well, and it's like, well, do we continue to run those guys out there just because they're making a lot of money? Yes, sure, but can we put them in situations where maybe they're better fit? And it's like, okay, yeah, they do that, and it still doesn't work. So it's kind of funny to me that people are blaming like, they're picking and choosing about 3 or 4 people when you really should be picking and choosing about 35 people.
Yeah. And for those saying, wow, Jared and Nate are being angel apologists again, and don't do that. Like, seriously, like, you look at it and it is actually laughable. Like, to a normal, you know, to us, it doesn't, like, nothing makes sense right now. Like, and I think you can say that in the clubhouse, like, nothing makes sense. They scored 7 runs on Sunday, and that should be enough to win a game. Bryce Harper hits a grand slam, and all of a sudden, they lose that game 9-7. 9-7. I mean, they lose 3 one-run games to Toronto. They get their asses handed to them by the Yankees. Like,
Well, they had a shot to win one of those
yeah,
games. They were getting no hit, and then they scored first.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what?
They
That's
had
the
it,
game
like,
they should have
exactly.
won.
Exactly. If pitching, so right now, and again, I didn't want to go off on rants here. If pitching is doing well, the hitting is not. If, like, like only 1/3 of everything is working right now. Not everything, if that makes sense. You know, if the
And it's
offense is
more
on,
like
the pitching is not.
1/4.
1/4.
Because sometimes it's the starters that are on and the bullpen that's off. Sometimes it's the bullpen that's on and the starters are not. And then sometimes it's
Sometimes the
the
defense
off.
lets you down. Like, it's just, like, there is nothing that makes sense. And we have answers for a lot of stuff. We really do. We do. Like, if you listen to us, we're, again, it's gonna sound arrogant, it's gonna sound cocky. We're smart. We get it. Like, we totally understand it. We do. We sometimes try to make you guys a little happy, you know, and we sometimes try to piss you guys off. But if you listen to us, you know that we are, you know, fairly smart about what we say. We have no understanding of this. Like, you could point up to this guy and be like, Jared, Nate, this is because of aliens, and we'd be like, sure, sounds good to us. That makes sense. Back on to baseball, though, without sounding too cocky and arrogant. I got to bring up Joe Maddon here. You know, like, I understand where people are with Joe Maddon, and I'm one of the first people to say that and Nate is too, that we don't agree with some of the bullpen decisions that he has
I'm
made.
not the biggest Joe Maddon fan.
No,
I'm not.
no. And it's not saying anything like against Joe Maddon. I think Joe Maddon's fantastic. However, those that are saying that you need to go and fire Joe Maddon, just remember that there is nobody to take over for him. You have a former scouting director as your assistant man, or your bench coach right now, that would take over. I don't think he had ever coached a big league game before this year, correct?
No.
So basically, if you fire Joe Maddon and Ray Montgomery takes over, Perry Manasian is the new manager of your team. He is now the manager and the general manager.
What they
I'm just saying.
probably would do is make Benji Gill the manager.
Yeah, that would.
And then
I would think.
And then they would move assistant hitting coach to first base coach or something stupid like that. They might call somebody up from the minor leagues to do that, but Benji Gill's probably next in line to be the manager if something goes wrong. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think that too. But however, like, if you look at his in pecking order right now, Ray Montgomery is your bench coach. You know, he'd be that guy, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I know Benji Gill would probably take. I don't know, but regardless, I'll take Joe Maddon over those guys. Just because, I mean, Benji Gill's fantastic. He's a fantastic human being. He has no track record. You know, like,
he does have managerial background.
He does. He managed Team Mexico, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and he was the manager in a Mexico league. Speaking of who could possibly, just for similar talks, the Phillies fired Joe Girardi before the series, and right when that happened, I said, "Oh crap, Jared won our weekly bet," because I knew for sure the Phillies were going to come out and play a lot better baseball after that. They did not go to their bench coach to be the interim manager. They went to another guy, Rob Thompson, excuse me, and he became the interim manager. I think he was like the assistant hitting coach or something like that, not their bench coach. Their bench coach is still their bench coach. So it doesn't have to be their bench coach. I just know that pecking order wise, like, when the manager gets kicked out, that is who typically becomes the manager, is the bench coach. So just thought I'd throw that out there, but Joe Maddon's not the problem. I know everyone wants to point to him and be like, "Oh, he's the one who makes the decisions." Yes.
Why have there been no meetings? Why have there been this? There have been meetings. I'm letting you know.
Yes, there have been meetings. That's 100%. Also, like, Joe can only play the hand he's dealt. This is not 100.
You're bringing this in. You've been waiting.
I have.
I know you have.
I have.
Go ahead.
You can only play the hand you're dealt, and like, Does that mean the Baltimore Orioles manager should be fired? Brandon Hyde should be fired for right now. They're in last place. They're not playing. They're not playing good baseball.
It's a very football viewing for you,
What
right?
about the Tigers? Should AJ Hinch be fired? He's in last place right now. He was supposed to be possibly the hot team this year with all the young guys playing good, and they're in last place. AJ Hinch, terrible manager, right? Never been to a World Series, never won games before. He's got to go, right? No? Oh, he's got a young team that's still trying to learn how to win. Okay. So can we give Joe Maddon some slack a little bit? Like, it's not like he is going out there and saying, all right, we're going to put the same 9 guys on the field every single day. We're going to go to the same guys out of the bullpen every single day. And those same 15 guys are going to win us a game every single day. And if it doesn't work, well, we're going to try the same 15 guys tomorrow. He has not done that. He has tried different guys. He has had guys called up from the minor leagues. He has sent guys down. He has had, different starting lineups almost every single day during this losing streak.
He has two of his best players on the IL right now.
Debatable, but sure.
Well,
sure.
Taylor Ward was hitting technically when you think about it, right? Like three of the best players on his team, and in fact, like I'd say the 3 best players this season for him on the offensive side of things in general, maybe not Anthony Rendon.
Yep.
But Taylor Ward and Mike Trout's over his last 26. Like,
yep.
What is like? How you supposed to work with that? You're now back to like old 2016, 2017 Billy Epler, Mike Scioscia, Brad Ausmus teams. Like that's kind of what you're looking at right now. Like you don't have anybody behind Mike Trout. You really don't. I honestly like you're able to go after Mike Trout at the moment, and you've probably gotten a little bit lucky with Mike Trout. I know he's swinging and missing a little bit. The timing's off. Timing's off a little bit. But yeah, yeah.
It's a team that had a lot of holes, a lot of question marks going into the year, and you're seeing what happens when a guy or two goes down. The Angels got really lucky with Taylor Ward coming up and playing like an all-star, and then he goes down. Anthony Rendon goes down, and it's like, oh crap, this offense sucks. That's honestly what's happening right now. Is everyone's going, oh man, this offense isn't that good.
Well, 7, 8, 9 can't hit. I'll tell you that much. If you have Tyler Wade, Kurt Suzuki, and Andrew Velasquez playing,
5 through 9 haven't hit in 2 weeks.
And yes, Brandon Marsh is 0 for his last 20 or something like that.
5 through 9 have not hit in the last 2 weeks. And now you're seeing why Jared and I were so upset when the shortstops were signed by other teams, because we said this offense needed another piece. And that's the frustrating part. So I am not a Joe Maddon fan. I'm not. You guys know this. I think Joe Maddon makes a lot of mistakes, but I can't blame Joe Maddon here. Like, it is very hard to win with a team that can only hit 1 through 4. And the 1 through 4 that can hit, that is like the weakest 1 through 4 in baseball right now. Shohei Ohtani has an OPS of 772. We are crowning this guy the MVP with an OPS of 772.
We'll get on to talking about Shohei Ohtani.
Oh my gosh, let's go ahead. Take this away before I get even more pissed.
That's fine. That's fine. The fans wanted to see pissed off Nate and Jared. They're gonna get pissed off Nate. I'm pretty level headed with everything, but
772.
But yeah, okay. Let's move on here. Let's say we are both Perry Manasian, and we can both do what we want here in this situation. I think we've both made it very clear that we are not getting rid of any coaches. Correct?
That's correct.
I think so. Let's play this as if the Angels are healthy, or as if the Angels are where they are right now.
I think it starts with one thing, and it's very, very obvious, and people are going to be upset with it right away. You've got to convince Dallas Keuchel to come to Anaheim.
Yes, I think so too. That's a great depth piece. I said that. I said there are 3 things, by the way, and I'll take. We can agree on that one. I think we were both right when we saw.
I told you about that last episode. I was like,
right when we saw Keuchel get let go, it was like, oh, that makes sense. Ground ball guy, let the defense do their thing.
First thing I did was check his fan graphs and make sure that the ground balls percentage lined up with what the Angels like, and it made sense. Yeah. So he's pitched in the American League West. He's been a playoff pitcher. He's a very similar pitcher
Go
to what
get
the
depth.
Angels like. Yep, and he can eat innings, and
Go
his
get
pitching.
go get major league depth. That's what this is, though. That's what Dallas Keuchel is. Don't go put him in AAA. I do not. You don't put Keuchel in AAA as much as everybody wants. You make some starting pitching changes. You need to go to a 5-man rotation, correct? Like you need
You
to.
can't do that, but yeah,
No, you need to figure out a way to do that.
it's
You need,
impossible.
Shohei Ohtani. You need to
Shohei
limit
Ohtani
what
can't do it.
Shohei. You need to limit what Shohei Ohtani does on the offensive side of things. If he needs to take more days off, because exactly what you said. What is he? What is his OPS this year?
It's 72.
Seven whatever, right? He's
It's
batting 7 whatever. That
it's
is
so
not
bad.
that on the offensive side of things. That is not going to cut it as a DH. DH is there to hit. So if you need to cut back his time and give Joe Adell some chances on the DH side of things, let Mike Trout sit out in center field for a day. Oh, maybe let Jared Walsh. Oh, and we talked about Taylor Ward being hurt. I mean, you can DH him as well. Anthony Rendon, you can DH. There are plenty of guys that can use a day off that are not Shohei Ohtani. And we, again, are not blaming this on Shohei Ohtani by any means. Shohei Ohtani needs some freaking days off. You cannot do what he is doing is not humanly possible, and we are completely understanding why now, right? If he's tipping pitches on the pitching side of things, whatever, everybody's pressing. Take a step back and figure out a way for Shohei Ohtani not to play every day because he is not going to help the team with what he was doing right now. So back to that Dallas Keuchel. Yes, that's the first thing we do.
Yep, he needs to come. You probably move Silseth down, or you move him to the pen. You move somebody else down. That's fine, but the Angels need Dallas Keuchel, and that sounds so bad because again, not a huge Dallas Keuchel fan, but he does what the Angels need. He's gonna eat
Send
innings.
Detmers back down to Double-A, dude. That's another lefty there.
Yeah,
I'd
I would rather Detmers next to Keuchel as much as
yeah,
possible because I think Dallas Keuchel could really help him learn how to be a professional, learn how to pitch, and things like that. So personally, if I'm Perry Minasian and I'm bringing in Dallas Keuchel, saying, "Bro, I'm paying you the major league minimum. I will buy your house out here. I'll do whatever you have to stay in in Anaheim for the rest of the season. We have a shot to make the playoffs. You have a shot to be a postseason pitcher on this team. You have a shot to do a lot of things. Just come out here and give us a chance."
trust your
And
defense because that defense out in Chicago
it's bad.
is
You
bad.
know,
Trust your defense.
no, Tim Anderson's been one of the worst shortstops in baseball defensively. Um, third base, they've been rotating Jake Berger. Yohan Mercado just came back. Second base, they've been rotating Luis Garcia and Mendick. And it's been bad defense, and it's cost him. There are plays that maybe he's giving up hits on that the Angels are making plays on because Andrew Velasquez is a really good shortstop. So yes, Dallas Keuchel is number one, 100%. He is looking at a couple teams right now. Hopefully, the Angels are one of them, and hopefully, he ends up in the Angels organization because I think he brings a lot to the Angels. One, he'll bring postseason experience. Two, he'll bring an innings eater. And three, he'll bring that veteran leadership. So I think he makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's number one there, Dallas Keuchel. I think like it's almost automatic. Like that's got to be a guy you look at. Gives you major league depth. I don't care how bad he's been this year. I really don't. He won't be that. I can promise you wherever he goes next, he's not going to be that bad.
Nope.
Can guarantee you that. Number two, with the Angels lineup, Mike Trout needs to bat leadoff. Don't care what you got to do. You did Justin Upton last year. Go ahead and do it to Mike Trout during this Boston Red Sox series. Bat him leadoff, please. And then put Shohei Ohtani right behind him and let Mike Trout see as many fastballs as humanly possible and walk for all I care. He can go 0 for 0 in the Red Sox series, continue his 0 for 26 streak, and I could care less. I really could care less. Get Mike Trout on base as much as possible because, hey, guess what? That's what the Angels are struggling to do. Get guys on base right now, correct? The offense has been
Yes.
struggling. That's the first thing that Mike Trout does when he is struggling is he starts walking a lot to get back into what he does best. Put Mike Trout at the leadoff spot, and I don't care what he does in the Red Sox series. He can walk every single time. I could care less. He's not hitting right now, anyways. What's the point? What's the issue with Mike Trout batting leadoff? Go put him in leadoff. He's one of the best guys at getting on base. Put Shohei Ohtani right behind him. Put I don't care number 3.
You probably got to
Sure,
put a righty
Walsh.
and then Walsh.
I don't care about the rest of the lineup. I really don't. It is what it is. So, uh,
Funniest thing about that, Aaron Judge led off for the Yankees 2 days ago. The Yankees are one of the hottest teams in baseball. They're leading off Aaron Judge, and not only are they leading off Aaron Judge led the game off with a home run. So that guy has 20 home runs on the season now, and they hit him lead off.
yep.
Feel free to lead off Mike Trout because
If
it
Justin
can't get
Upton can
worse.
lead off, no, if Justin Upton can lead off, so can Mike Trout. Bat him lead off. Don't care what he does. He can walk every single time for the rest of his 2022 season and continue his 0 for 26 streak. And I don't care. Bat him lead off. And then number 3, what else we got here? Do we have anything else? Is that it?
You had one other one.
I don't remember what I said.
You had one other one. Hold on.
No. What did I say? People got mad at it. People got really mad. What did I say? We will figure this out for you guys. I literally cannot remember what I said. Oh, get healthy. I said get healthy. That's
Yeah.
like literally you got to wait. Like that's it. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's all I got there on that one. You got to get healthy somehow. You got to figure out, a way for pitchers like to continue to try to get deep into games and beat each other again. As weird as that sounds, you got to make it a competition with the pitchers. Like if one guy goes, this is going to sound ridiculous. Syndergaard goes 1 inning next outing. Your job as the next guy up is to go 2 innings and beat Syndergaard, and 3 innings and 4. You got to continue to try to beat.
They should just make it an open competition. Yeah, exactly. All 6 guys get an outing. Whoever gets last place has to wear the pink backpack the rest of until the 6 starters are done. Again, like they should do something where it's like that, where they just got to compete and just beat each other. Who cares what the offense does? Who cares what the defense does? Who cares what the bullpen does? Starting pitchers just try and beat each other. Because you do that, it's going to make everyone else better.
All right.
And then the bullpen, how many zeros can you throw up?
Exactly.
That's the goal. How many zeros can you throw up? I don't care what inning it is. I don't care if it's Jaime Barria, Jimmy Herget, Raisel Iglesias, Aaron Loup, Ryan Tepera, whoever it is. How many zeros can you throw up? Let's see how many zeros you can throw up without giving up a run throughout the entire bullpen. Don't be the guy to give up a run.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. You have to beat the guy who pitched in front of you. You got to make it a competition. That's the best way to do it. So, Nate, let's go ahead and predict this Red Sox series if we can. I took the dub.
We're all tied again. Yeah,
we are tied up. What do you got for this Red Sox series? I have no idea who's pitching. I would assume the Angels win this series somehow.
Thor, Walker, Whitlock, TBD, Evaldi, TBD. So Thor's the only guy. Red Sox win 2 out of 3.
Angels at least win a game. Can I say the Angels win 2 out of 3?
Yeah, I mean, I did last time, and look what that got me.
All right. I'm gonna go bold here. Yeah, Angels win 2 out of 3.
Sad that you have to say bold.
Well, my bold statement is Joe Adell goes off this series. I think that he's. I don't know, man. Like
my bold statement is in the Angels win, they throw a CG.
That works for me. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for listening to this podcast here at Talking Halos. Again, making us the best podcast out there. If you could subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Hello, YouTube. Again, subscribe if you are watching us there. You can follow us on all of our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can follow myself on Twitter at Jared_Tim's, Nate on Twitter at NateGreen34. And guys, thank you so much for listening and have a great rest of your day.